I find Ezesha is also making women understand their purpose. So you're not just coming for Ezesha just because you just want to do business, but there's also the realization of what's my purpose. What am I supposed to do in this life? If I'm doing this business, what am I supposed to achieve out of this business? So it's not just about even the business, there's more.
Hey everybody, my name is Angie Murenga. You're watching Just Angie. It's Mbuthia Monday. This is the third part in a series that we've been having a conversation with Steve G of Endeavor Connections and Pastor Maureen of Woman to Woman Ministries, but we're discussing all things governance, all things business, and how we can become better at what we do and how we can really examine what we do and really call it out and make a change. So I'm really enjoying the conversations and I hope that you are too. Steve, I wanted to ask you something. There's something that you said. You sometimes you make profound statements. I just watch you and I say, okay, point noted. But you talked about once staying in the place where you run your office from, your business from. Yeah. You've been there for a long time, I think over 10 years or something. But you're saying people come and go, people come and go, but you have stayed. And I really wanted to speak to that because we're speaking to a society that wants fast results. Yeah, you've had the results, but they don't have to. It doesn't mean. I don't know why when we make more money, we move to a bigger space and spend more money. I just wanted to speak to that.
I think one of the greatest blessings I had is that I had a mentor and a coach who helped me unpack my business. Okay. And what that did is he helped me rethink my growth plan. When I got into that office, like most of us, I knew I'd be there for 6 months, I'll make a lot of money, I'll move to a bigger place, I'll hire more people, and then reality hits. Yeah, when I got to realize that probably the kind of business I needed to run did not need more space because I'm rarely even in the office. I do my trainings, I do my sessions outside.
Outside, yeah.
So what it did is that it helped me learn, and having watched a few other businesses, that we grow abnormally. You get to a place where you're making decisions based on excitement about where you are and the money that you're making now, without really thinking about the sustainability of the business. So, like I said, you start from a small office and you make good money. When you move to a bigger office is because you're anticipating that the growth curve will continue. Yeah. What I've seen most people do is when they move to a bigger office, in the excitement and anticipation that business is going to get better, we get more expenses, so we get more overheads. And the two things that happen is you get the rent becomes more expensive, and then you start having more staff overheads because you hire more. But your growth curve is such that your expenses start growing faster than your revenues, and your business model is not allowing your revenues to grow any faster.
So it becomes not sustainable.
Yeah. So after I think about the first one year is when I sat down and I realized that maybe it's not the growth I want in terms of space. What I want to do is a growth in profile, in a growth in customer experiences, and that did not necessarily mean that I grow my overheads. Wow. So what I've done in that space is I've changed how I work with it. So initially it was just 2 desks, working spaces. Then as I got to get into coaching, then I changed the space such that it allows me have a one-on-one with my clients. So the space started earning revenue other than what I was doing outside. I've seen people move from small offices to bigger offices to bigger offices with more staff team. And 4 or 5 years later, you hear somebody's working from home. And when I learned from the experiences, when I got to spend time with them, I got to realize is most of us want to grow, but our businesses are not able to sustain that growth. And the sad thing is, when we began the statistics in Kenya of business failure, and there's an article that's currently going on on social media, the number of businesses that are failing. And we talk about the economy, we'll talk about hardships in the economy, but when you go back to the fundamentals, most of us grew too fast. Yeah. And that's where we struggle.
Yeah. And we didn't think through why the growth.
Yes.
You know, why do I need this office or whatever it is that you need? You didn't ask yourself the why questions. Yeah. And that's what coaching does.
Yes.
Whether you like it or not, coaching is it, because coaching allows the right questions to be asked. And I really love it. And Pastor Maureen, your experience with the Zesha, with Woman to Woman Ministries, how do you think this is going to impact your ministry?
I think before we came, we were just talking about it with Steve G, and I was telling him, I think the greatest impact I have discovered with the women, first and foremost, is the change of their minds.
Okay, so the women who came.
Yeah, their thought process has changed. Their thinking has changed. And more interestingly, it's not about making money. It's about being a person of impact.
And that's what kingdom business is about. The money may come.
The money will come.
But
and the money, when it comes, will thank God.
Yeah, but what's motivating you?
What's motivating you? And I like the example you gave. One of the ladies would make sure she gets her money, eats everything. And even is left with debt. But today she has no debt.
Imagine.
Her thoughts
only 6 months.
Only 6 months. So I can't wait for when they finish what will happen to next year.
And they're actually allowed to go and practice.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think also the joy is the fact that they're also lifting another person.
Yes.
It's not just for them. At times I find they are sharing with somebody. They want to sit down with somebody. They're busy asking about, are you doing bookkeeping? You know, so I think the thought pattern has totally changed. And if you can be able to help people change their mind, their mindset, change what they're thinking about, everything else will go.
Everything else will go. And I don't know whether you've noticed, because even there were some women from my side, but people have become calmer. People are really focusing on the business. I think Auntie Muhahe has gone down, because you're busy. You know, you've really provoked them to thought, to what am I doing? How am I doing it? What do I need to do now? You know, and I love that. They're thinking, they're feeling more fulfilled, they're remembering things. I saw one of the ladies write like a prophetic word she had gotten, and she drew it, and now she's seeing the reality of it coming to pass. And I think also opportunity has come their way. Do you think more opportunities have come their way?
More opportunities have come their way. There's something else as you're talking, I'm just remembering, is I like the fact that the class is usually very, very practical. I mean, the writing is so practical. You're not just writing things out of this world.
But because it's experiential.
Yes. And of course the impact is greater, because like now I've noticed most of my women, they are now even more concerned in carrying books, notebooks. They are journaling a lot.
And writing
I mean,
down.
it's not just a matter of the way they used to do business, the Kenyaji style, no. It's now become very, very practical. And as you're saying, the calmness also. Now they are even more motivated to wake up early because they have reason. And it's also, I find Ezesha is also making women understand their purpose. So you're not just coming for Ezesha just because you just want to do business, but there's also the realization of what's my purpose. What am I supposed to do in this life? If I'm doing this business, what am I supposed to achieve out of this business? So it's not just about even the business. There's more than the business.
So I'm glad that we came together. I think also empowering the women has been very encouraging, and that even Woman to Woman Ministries, even for KBS here, that we want more for them. And I think that's very important, that we've brought them to a place where they can be more empowered because we want more for them. And then they can go out to do it. And I think you've developed a really great program, Steve, because it's very practical. It's a very practical program, so everybody can go through it and then apply the principles that they can. When you've gone out there to the mashinani and the different places that you've gone to train people, what has been your experience?
I think the one thing that I've seen is that there are many programs out there. There's a class I run, and I was asking the ladies, why is this different? And one of the ladies came and told me, this is the first time I've done a class that is not full of papers.
Good.
Yeah, in terms of flip charts and notes, but it's a class that has helped me stop talking to myself. When I asked her what she means, is she came and told me, every day I run my business, I get home and I don't know what has happened. The money came, money went, and I've been struggling and I don't understand what's going on. So like you said, what the calmness did is that for the first time, we helped her stop overthinking her business and gave her the right tools to start her business. An example you gave was the training I was doing in Mukuru, and one of the ladies comes and she sells vegetables, Kenyaji vegetables, and her business was she buys her stock for the day, She sells what she can. She removes money for the stock for tomorrow, and then she eats the rest. So at the end of the day, she just had a business that was turning itself over, but there's no opportunity for growth. So one of the things we've done, and we've also brought into Azesha, is we help the women think through that when you earn money from your sales, that money has 3 things to do. The first thing is it has to return stock for tomorrow. So there's a percentage, and we teach them how to do that. It has to meet other expenses in the business, because there's transport costs. For some of them, there's a kiosk, there's electricity. Understanding what are the expenses and how those expenses factor into your price. And that lastly is that it has to cover the staff cost for the business. For most of these ladies, you're the only person working, but even if you have somebody else that you've hired, your income has to be split into those levels. Okay. So she learned how to save. So at the end of the 6 months engagement, she came and said, okay, my business is growing because I've been able to save for the business. I return stock, I've been able to cover my expenses. But then you taught me how to save, and for the first time I've been saving. And now I have a saving of 6,000 shillings. I've never, my family is okay because I'm paying myself a salary. The stock, I cannot grow any further than this. So what do I do with savings? And what that did is that the group of 10 women had a conversation for about 45 minutes. Because again, as a coach, you learn how to help them think through rather than you being the solution and the answer.
And people always have the solutions.
And in 45 minutes, they not only helped her think through other things she could do with her savings in terms of other businesses, but they each came out with an idea that they could use with their own savings. Wow. So the impact is not just at one level, but the impact goes beyond the individual to the group of women and also to their families.
And that's what I love about women. Women can never learn alone. We must tattoo this problem together. We're clearly 6,000 haba. What do we do? You know, and everybody comes up with amazing ideas. I love that, you know, because in a way that's only women can do such things, you know, and help each other, urge each other on, then we learn. Because I think one of my greatest learnings is forming think tanks. Yes. I always tell people you don't have all the solutions. Form a think tank. And if you're out there and you're not doing business, you're engaged even in a corporate office setup, put people together who even would not normally be together and tell them to come up with a solution. Present a problem and you'll be shocked how the solutions come, because that's something I've learned in life, that people always have the solution. They just need a way to express it. God bless you, and see you next Monday for the final part of this series.